The phenomenon I want to talk about is the rise in prominence of fashion in the NBA, especially the spectacle of the pregame tunnel runway. We have seen players move from sporting suits before games to pulling out their best outfits every single game. There are countless Instagram pages, Twitter pages, and even podcasts devoted to just this pregame fashion. The ascendance this has had in the last year or two is fascinating. These two groups were brought together to increase the popularity among both of them, and the massive social media following the NBA already had was a perfect place for this phenomenon to grow. I think it's best to start off with a bit of an explanation of this phenomenon. Quite simply put, the walk from the bus to the locker room in the tunnel of a stadium has turned into a runway. Players wear outfits that you would see in the Paris fashion shows or in magazines. Why? Because of the popularity it can gain them. This is a league where you are always trying to make money, and the greater following you can have leads to making more money outside just your NBA contract through endorsement deals. One of the best examples of this is Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre is known as one of, if not the best dresser in the NBA. He was voted best fashion in the league last year by Slam magazine. While he is by no means a bad player, he is pretty average in the grand scheme of things. To show what his fashion sense has done for him, we can look at his social media following. Oubre has averaged 19 points per game last year, a career high and 3.5 more than any other season of his career. Bojan Bogdanovic averaged 21 points per game last year, similarly 4 points better than any season he has had. Bogdanovic was also ranked number 52 in the top 100 players of 2020. Oubre, on the other hand, was not ranked. While they both play in bottom half markets and have hundreds of posts on Instagram, Oubre has a staggering 1.5 million NBA followers to Bogdanovic's 111,000. Clearly, Oubre's fashion sense has gained him fame that wouldn't be possible without it. While this has grown to new heights recently, it is still criticized by some of the older personalities. Allen Iverson saying that players dressed like it's Halloween every night. But in reality, this pregame catwalk isn't anything new. Part of Michael Jordan's stardom was his fashion before and after games. Air Jordans became so popular that they were worn as just normal shoes and were considered a fashion statement. Even centuries before that, we saw pregame fashion. In an article written about NBA pregame fashion, author Alex Pruitt said, "Pre-competition peacocking is hardly new. Centuries before Whitney Spears transformed the NBA tunnel, Roman gladiators paraded around the Colosseum pit flaunting purple and gold cloaks, or as with 2nd century Emperor Commodus, a lion's pelt, before trying to slaughter one another. Along with it, stylist Rancher Johnson said, there's always some kind of entrance that a warrior makes before he goes into battle, and it's the same thing with guys today. It has always been expected a team looks good and professional before games. They are asked to paint a good picture for the organization. We've seen this for a long time, but fashion has evolved to today's looks, and more people are doing it because of the benefits that come with it. While this has been around for a long time, some of the theories from Grazian's book can show us why it has become so popular so fast. To start off, the functionalist approach towards the idea of groups and how these phenomena bring us closer together. Grazian explains the functionalist approach as it generating solidarity among the individual members of a larger society or community. Moreover, these shared moments provide opportunities for fans to express their feelings and opinions about otherwise sensitive topics, such as race relations and the ethics of work. You can see how this phenomenon brought two groups together. Last semester, I looked at society's need to be in groups and the desire to be surrounded by similar individuals. This gave people another group to be a part of. Suddenly, basketball fans saw what their favorite players were wearing and emulated their outfits, gaining them an interest in fashion and vice versa. Fans of fashion and fans of basketball could now talk about Kelly Oubre and their thoughts on his outfits. Grazian talks about how these phenomena allow us to talk about sensitive issues that we otherwise wouldn't. He says, in each of these instances, the celebrity status of those involved provide an excuse for the rest of us to discuss sensitive topics of conversation and pass a moral judgment with ease. Fashion is a great example of being able to spark these discussions. We see players wearing these shirts with statements on them like, Black Lives Matter, or I Can't Breathe. This gives us an easy way to bring up these topics and pass on our judgments about these topics with fellow fans that we usually wouldn't discuss. On the other hand, the interaction approach gives us more of a look into the speed of the rise, rather than why this rose to popularity. Grazian explains the interaction approach as follows. It emphasizes how popular culture spreads throughout a society as an outcome of interpersonal encounters experienced among groups of individuals within particular social settings and interactive contexts. We can look no further than social media to explain this. Social media gives anything a chance to spread, and when a group as popular as the NBA revolves around something, it is bound to gain traction. It's hard to follow basketball online without seeing the players' outfits. Huge companies like Bleacher Report or ESPN will post these pregame tunnel photos. Eventually, you're going to see an outfit you really like and go follow that player to see more of their outfits. Or you love a player already and he starts posting his outfits. You're going to want to emulate him and think his style is cool. With a huge following that basketball already had on social media, once a player started emphasizing it, it took off among the fans. NBA players can be seen as these early adapters and connectors that Grazian talks about. They influence their fans and followers, and the NBA has millions of fans to influence. Athletes of today are so much more than athletes. They have such a big platform and such a big responsibility that comes along with playing a sport for millions of dollars. The pregame fashion wave that has taken over the NBA is a great way for players to express themselves and grow their platform. All types of players bring out their best in outfits before games in the hope of being recognized and praised for their fashion. In just the last couple of weeks, so many players have worn Kobe jerseys, shoes, and tributes. While it is a nice thing to do to honor Kobe, there is no doubt they will also gain some popularity or online clicks from this. Overall, this phenomenon brought groups together to bond and talk about things they wouldn't otherwise have the chance to discuss. This phenomenon grew so quickly because of the following the NBA already had and the juggernaut that is social media promoting it.